Has anyone actually used sleepwalking as a defense?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. A sleepwalking defense, also known as an automatism or somnambulism defense, is a legal strategy used in criminal cases where the defendant claims to have committed an unlawful act while in a state of unconsciousness due to sleepwalking. There's too
many terms for this already, but go on.
I know. The defense argues that the accused lacked the necessary mental state, known as mens rea, to be held criminally responsible for their actions. In legal contexts, the sleepwalking defense falls under the broader category of automatism defenses, where, when successfully argued, it can lead to acquittal or reduced charges, as the court may determine that the defendant was not in control of their actions and therefore cannot be held fully accountable. To determine the credibility of a sleepwalking defense, the following factors will have to be considered. Number 1. Evidence of sleepwalking during the crime. Was there any direct evidence, such as witness testimony or surveillance footage, that suggests the defendant was sleepwalking? Number 2. Time between falling asleep and the crime. How long had the defendant been asleep before the crime occurred? A longer period of sleep might make a sleepwalking defense more plausible. Number 3. Medical factors. Does the defendant have a history of sleepwalking or other sleep disorders? Medical records can provide valuable evidence. Number 4, trigger factors. Were there any known triggers such as stress or sleep deprivation that could have made the defendant more susceptible to sleepwalking? And number 5, circumstantial evidence. Is there any other evidence such as the defendant's behavior before or after the crime that supports or contradicts the sleepwalking defense?
This seems really hard to gather stuff on.
Right. I feel like it would be difficult to prove that you were sleepwalking unless you had cameras in your house.
Is it one of those things
and
where
you had been recording yourself with years of evidence of that?
Sure. I mean, I've seen lots of videos of like people will find out that they sleep eat or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And this is still just tough. I wonder also, is it one of those things where you're like, well, Your Honor, can the prosecution prove that I wasn't sleepwalking?